Morning, folks. How are you? Where the hell's my cursor? There it is. I got started a little late today. I wanted to go out and get me some breakfast, but my breakfast place wasn't open yet, which is unfortunate for me. So I stopped and got some coffee, but it's no breakfast. Goodness gracious, excuse me. That's headphone struggles here. There we go. All right, I think we're ready. We want this. Don't want that. Want this. I guess we want that. Why anybody would is beyond me. Okay. So I don't know quite how this is going to go today, because during the week I discovered a quicker way to do some of this work. So I did a bunch, like a bunch, while I was at work, because I can do it so much faster this new way. But you know, my complaint with plugins, something updated, and then all of the work I did just quit working. So last night I discovered it, started working on it. We'll see where I left off. I think it's here. Excuse me. Oh, that one works. Let's try Gunsmoke. No, Gunsmoke should be fine. Agane. Let's see. I got all the way up to the L's. I got up to the K's. I made all the folders for everything after the K's. I didn't finish the K's, and that's when I realized, oh, this is a problem. But we'll walk through it. I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so this one doesn't work. But if we look at the page itself, this is here, and this is correct. This does work. I just don't know why it doesn't work anymore. So what we're going to do today is we're going to edit all these old pages and replace those. And then we'll do a couple new things because I've got it sorted out until something changes again. You know, all of this is like, why the hell did I even leave YouTube, right? If some arbitrary change is just going to break everything, I could have just stayed there, saved myself a bunch of work. You've been checking my Kick content, and my channel has a lot of growth potential. Well, I would imagine so, since there's absolutely nobody on it right now. I mean, it can only get better. But, no. You just go on. Just get out of here. Sorry. Anyway, we'll fix Hagane first. Well, actually, before we fix Hagane, we do have some new Dragon Quest XI. Let's get that added. Need 2 of those. Last page. 54. And that. So we have... Speaking of YouTube and things breaking, so I have in the description box of my YouTube videos a link to the website, because, you know, why wouldn't you? And like 2 months ago, I got this thing that says you have to do a one-time verification or we're not going to let you have links in your description box. And I said, okay, every single one of my videos has that. I should probably do the verification. And I've done this one-time verification 5 times now. And every time I click on it, it says, you already have access to this feature. Try refreshing the page. So, good old YouTube. Good old YouTube. Oops, that ain't right. Also, I don't think I did this in episode 5. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Financial consultant. Would I like many viewers? Let's make me popular. Financial consultant, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Get out of here. Come to tick. Come to tick. Come to kick, they said. It'll be fun, they said. But nobody really said that. But you know what I'm saying. This music, particularly this song from Bat and Kaitos, has got big Chrono Cross vibes, I think. Right, so 25 links to 26, 25 links to 25. 26 is on this page, 25 is on this page, so we could save and close this one. This is, just so you know, you people that have bought me coffees, this is one of those coffees. It's a hot vanilla latte. Extra shot, half sweet. Because I like to taste coffee, you know, when I'm drinking coffee. I'm one of those people. Alright, so 25. Next is 24. 25 previous is 24. These are all out of order. It's confusing me. 24 goes to 25, goes to 26. 26 goes to 25, goes to 24. Okay, we also need to grab a copy of this. Drop it there. Drop it there. We need the description here. And we need our video there. Perfect. Save it. Save it. Save it. This is a good game. This is a good game with good music. Okay. It's also a good game but the original's better. In every way, the original soundtrack's better, gameplay in the original's better. Graphics. Okay, where are we doing? Hagane. 2, 3, 4, 5. This at least goes relatively quick. So, after we finish Hagane, I'll show you the code I was using and why I was using it. I can also show you that it worked, and then it just stopped working in some instances. Because that's how, you know, that's how website code works. It only works sometimes. Can be the exact same in 2 different places, but it will only work sometimes. Music seems really loud to me. Let's turn that down a little bit. Amp, where are you? There you are. They'll go with that. Okay. So, Hagane is fixed. This is also a thing. Control S should save the changes. But it doesn't always. Doesn't always. Because like I said, that's what you want in your website. You want inconsistency. Bling blong phone, hello. Is this something I need to deal with right now? Kind of. Here's a fun story. And by fun, I mean nobody cares. The music store I first worked in. This is a million years ago. 20 years ago? A little more? They are closing. They're closing down. And I'm 100% certain it's closing down because the new owner, really not a business-minded individual. He's good at bullshitting. He's good at making you think he's a great guy, and he has your interests in mind. He is not, which is part of the reason I left. Was the previous owner's son-in-law, right? So he married into the business. And just within like the first week before he took over the company, when he took over the management of the store I worked at, when he took that over, see, Control S worked there, Control S worked there. I don't know. Anyway, just within like that first week or two, I had people, it's like, we will never come back if he's going to be here ever. He's horrible. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's condescending. He's friendly but fake, I think one person told me. And I said, I can do nothing but agree with you. I don't like him either. He drove pretty much everybody good who worked in that company out of that company. And then from that point on, like, I rarely went into that store for a variety of reasons. But I don't think I ever went in, you know, in a space of a couple months, and the same people were working there. So, you know, writing on the wall kind of thing. Anyway, they're closing this location. When I started, they had 5 locations. Now they're going to have 2. And 2 of them closed while I was working there. And one of them really didn't make any sense as to why it was even there. So I don't want to say it's, you know, poor business planning, but it's just it was an odd decision to have a location in this specific place. Anyway, so they're closing up, and the other music shop I used to work at, this was 15 years after this one, another one opened up, and they said, hey, would you like to come and be the manager of our music store? And I said, why, yes, I would. So I quit my job I had at the moment, went over there and managed that place, and oh God. If there has ever been a business that felt more like somebody with a lot of money needed a hobby, it was that one. It was terrible. Just, again, very nice people, very involved with their business, but very clueless and very opposed to the like you hired me to manage this place because I have experience and I know what I'm doing, and then you bring me in and you're like, well, we know you want to do this thing called advertise. We think that's how you say it, but we ran an ad in the newspaper one time and we thought it looked bad, so we're never going to advertise ever again. And I said, did you when you got the proof, did you say, we're not really liking this because this, and this, could you change it? I said, no, we just kind of thought they were going to take care of it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, other music shop, barely holding on anymore. I worked there for a year, and I had, here's some things that I need to do my job appropriately. Okay, I just need these few things. A budget would be great. You can give me that so I know, I need to know what the finances look like, so I need to know what I can and can't spend money on and where I can and can't spend it. Oh, no, you don't need that. You just don't spend too much. Well, what's too much? Anyway, I was there for a year, ladies and gentlemen. I doubled sales. Like I had the sales figures because it's all done through Square, so I had the sales figures, and I checked them every couple of months. Like A and B. I always go month to month, but I A and B them. Oh, so I've got the page for the YouTube thing. Can you see it? Nope, you can't see it. What about this? If I do that. Yeah, there it is. See? This was not on till a second ago. Okay, I'm verified. Great. Anyway. It was a great job. I had a lot of fun working there as long as I wasn't expected to handhold the owners. But after a year, doubled sales, we had more events than ever before, opened up all new product lines. We had started to do some events with the community because I wasn't allowed to advertise. So I had to find other ways to let people know we existed. So, the library was looking for things to do, they had a tech program for the high school kids, junior high kids. So I said, I can teach them how to build a microphone. It's very easy, and you just come over and so we do all these things, right? My God. You guys are busy today. Get out of here. And like I said, I've brought in new product lines, all this other stuff. Not allowed to advertise. So it's all word of mouth, which I'm a big believer in word of mouth, but you got to put the word in the mouth before people can say it. Anyway, it was just a mess. So I double sales the first year, and then I get we're going to have to let you go. You're just overspending. And I said, I'm sure I did, but you never told me. You never gave me the budget that I've been asking for 12 months at this point. So I'm not surprised. It just seemed kind of an arbitrary thing, whether or not I could do this or do that. So I did my job to the best of my ability, given the information that I had. So I'm happy to leave if that's what it's going to be like. But I really need you to understand that when you find somebody to replace me, if you are going to tie their hands as much as you tied mine, you are going to be in a world of hurt. And for about 8 months, they were in a world of hurt. and dramatically shifted their focus from being a music store to being an event hall. Anyway, all that said, I've been doing music store stuff for a long time. And the first shop, the one I mentioned earlier that's going out of business, I thought, you know what? Now's a good time for me to get in on the ground floor of this. Because I did all the repairs for them. Within reason. Like, there were some things I didn't have the tools to work on. I didn't have the knowledge to work on at the time. A lot of brass instruments, cosmetic stuff, because, you know, some of these things you need like these big calls and magnets for. I didn't have any of that stuff, but I could do a lot. Right? So I have Facebook. I hate having Facebook. I really and truly do. I do not like Facebook. But I use it for gigs. I use it to promote gigs and things like that. But I thought, you know, now's a good time to, with the local music store that had a repair department closing, I'll just put my name out there like, hey, you know, this is a thing. Some of you know me from forever ago when I worked there. Some of you don't, but I worked there forever ago, and I can do 75-80% of all the repairs you might need done within, you know, this range. So if you need something, let me know, and I'm happy to take a look at whatever it is you got going on. And my Facebook has been very busy. I've got a violin that needs refinished and refurbished, and I've got a this, and I've got a this, and do you work on banjos? And I've got a guitar that needs restrung. Can you restring a guitar? And then someone else, I also have a violin that probably needs a good once over and might need a bow rehaired, and can you do this, and can you do that? And then somebody says, I've got a piano. Can you come and tune my piano? And it's like, holy crap. I didn't realize. And I've got some piano tuning stuff, but it's been a very long time since I tuned a piano. And so unfortunately I had to tell that lady, says, I don't think you want me poking around in your piano. It's been so long since I've done it, but here's the names and numbers of people who as far as I know, are still doing that stuff. But if they can't help you, you let me know and I will work something out. So my phone's been a little, hey. These single episodes are fine. I don't know how long we're gonna go today on this stream, just because, like I said, I don't. Normally it's adding 3 games a day, you know how we do, but we've got I's and J's and some K's that we need to redo. And I could go back and do this. I spent a little over an hour, maybe 2 yesterday, working on this plugin and code thing. We'll show that later, of course. But I could go back and do that and just start all of these over from scratch. But the problem is, if I do that, I've got to redo all of these links. But if I just leave the broken pages alone and just replace the video, then I don't need to do that, and it saves a lot of time. Speaking of time, when this worked, my God, ladies and gentlemen, the time it saved. You've been with me when I've done some of these streams and some of these really long games. Like, Final Fantasy Tactics is 76 parts, and the reason I started looking into doing this via plugins and other stuff was because of games like Final Fantasy Tactics, which are so freaking long. What would have taken me well over an hour to do in Final Fantasy Tactics, I had done in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a game changer, and I mean that sincerely. EG's gonna be fun. EG's always fun. So let's check it. So we have 2 playthroughs of EG. I did a regular, just run through the game run, and I did a pacifist run. That's why you see there are 2 episode titles here. So we're going to come to my videos over here, EG it up, and do the regular run first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. All of the regular run videos are just titled by sector number. All of the pacifist run videos are titled by sector name. See how I did that? It's very clever. Very clever. Next week, when we get around to streaming, I am hoping... I need to put some work into this as well. I'm hoping to be streaming from Linux next week. I've been wanting to distance myself from Microsoft for a while now because, I mean, you know, Google came out and Google said, our slogan is don't be evil. And then they put an asterisk at the end of it. And now I just got the verification thing again on YouTube. And Microsoft lately has been kind of hold my beer when it comes to that. They're doing a lot of stuff that I don't agree with and I don't support. They've got that snapshot thing that they're putting in Windows 11 that you have to opt out of, but it's very difficult to opt out of. It's like opting out of something on Facebook. And what that snapshot thing basically does is it just takes kind of like screenshots of whatever it is you're doing kind of randomly throughout the day. And could be sensitive data, could be, you know, filing your taxes, so it's got all that information, could be bank accounts, could be emails, could be whatever. But they've said, no, this is fine. We're not data mining. Trust us. And I just have a hard time trusting them. And since I'm using Windows 10, because I really did not like Windows 11, I probably liked it more than 8, but that's not saying much. I would use Vista over 8. Anyway, so they did like the last big Windows 10 service update right before they, you know, withdrew service for it. And the clock's been broken ever since. So according to my telephone, it is 9:03 a.m. on Sunday, December 7th. According to my PC clock, it is 4:04 p.m. December 7th. Now to fix that, if I right click on it, and I click adjust date and time, I turn off set time automatically, I turn on set time automatically, it fixes it. But every time I restart, I have to do that. And I just thought, you know, they're not going to fix that. They're not going to put out a patch to fix that. Because it's Windows 10. They don't have to anymore. And it's been like 3 weeks. So I just thought, now's the time. And I've used some Linux distros before. I've got a little mini PC that's had Linux distros on it. My laptop has Mint on it. Where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so I just thought, Scarlett went to 11 and used Explorer Patcher. It's not just Explorer. It's just the whole inner workings of 11 are terrible. Anyway, so I found me a distro I liked. I've got it installed on a second hard drive in here. And I'm just kind of working my way through it. I was going to use it to stream this, but I don't have any of my OBS stuff backed up that I can move over there. So that's part of what we're going to do today. And when I say we, I mean me. The other thing that's really kept me from making the switch is... So look at this. This one's going to work. 9's not going to work. 10's going to work, though. I don't know why. Anyway, is software. I've got a lot of software that I have paid for that is not Linux applicable. And I didn't want to lose out on it. If Steam is will be a thing they sell, is will probably be. Is will probably be. I don't know. I really don't know, man. This is trying to load a video. A video that doesn't work, remember. It was added the exact same way the rest of these were. So, like, I paid for a license for Goldwave. Goldwave is my favorite single-track audio editing thing. I paid for a license for Photo Filter, which is my favorite editing thing. That's what I use to make all my thumbnails. These Photo Filter, I think, is great. It's got a lot of Adobe-esque features without being Adobe, but not as complicated as GIMP. GIMP to me is pretty complicated because I don't need 80% of what's in GIMP. Steam OS. You know, that makes more sense now that you use all the words. I don't know. You know, I really don't know. See, this one worked. Why this one worked and the others didn't, I don't know. If I remember right, and I could be wrong, I think Steam OS is basically just a skinned Ubuntu. I think. I don't remember. I heard something similar to that somewhere, but I don't know. So I'm using, what did I get? Solus Plasma. Because I don't like GNOME much, and I didn't like Budgie. And is it XCE? Didn't really see any reason to have a lot of the functionality of XCE, so I went Plasma. It looks kind of like Windows, it operates kind of like Windows, so the jump between the two isn't super big. I'm still going to have to keep Windows because there's going to be some stuff I want to do that I can't do Linux-wise, like playing some games, I think. I don't know if my capture card will work with Linux. When I've got it, when I'm booted into Linux, it flashes red, which is usually, you know, there's a problem here. It's usually what that means. But I don't know. We'll just see. I did get Steam installed on my laptop, and I played a couple games on that, but, you know, it's a laptop, so they weren't like... I wasn't playing Earth Defense Force. I was playing Plague Inc. and Darkest Dungeon. You know, very intensive graphically, those two games. But they worked. You know, it was fine. 4, 5, 6. There's just some games that... There's just some things that I think are still going to be best in Windows. So Windows is going to stay. It's going to do its own little thing. But eventually, I want to... You know, if I'm 90-10 Windows Linux, I eventually want that to be 75-25. I think is how I'd like that to happen. I've gone through and made a lot of changes to my home network setup just to kind of prepare for this. I bought a NOS. I've got to figure out how to get that working with Linux, but I'm going to take all of my music, all of the movies and stuff that I've had downloaded for a million years. I'm going to dump them onto this thing, and then I'll be able to access them from anywhere. Because right now, because again, Windows being Windows, if I'm logged onto Linux, I've got a drive that's partitioned out that's music, video games, and recorded videos, like stuff I record like this that I need to edit. And then I've got another drive that's partitioned out for Windows and just other stuff. And it's just a bigger, you know, it's one drive into 2 halves, and then the other one's one drive into 3/3. Linux will get into any and all of those. So when I was in Linux yesterday night playing around, figuring this stuff out, I was able to open up files that were on my Windows desktop. But if I'm in Windows, I can't get into the Linux stuff. So basically, it's just going to live on this hard drive, and then all the data is going to be over here, and they won't, I won't have to mess with file systems and all that. And getting this NOS hooked up and operating correctly will be kind of nice, because then I can get to anything from anything. Like if I'm sitting in my house watching a movie and I want to work on something, like thumbnails or whatever, I can do that. I can just pull them off that thing and work on them. I shouldn't be working on thumbnails when I'm in the house watching a movie. I should be writing reviews. I haven't written a review for a million billion years, it feels like. But that's just how it goes. It's not been a terribly steep transition learning curve yet, but I've really not used a whole lot of it yet. Reopen that. I don't think that's saved. Not that. Why would you do that? That. Like this one. Okay. Hey, Terranigma. Terranigma is part of this series. The Illusion of Gaia series. The Soul Blazer series. The ActRaiser series. Whatever you want to call it. I think I'll stream this one day. I think I'd like to stream this because it's a really good game. And I did so poorly at it when I Let's Played it. It was bad. It's a very early Jason Let's Play. It's a Jason play. I just thought, it's a good game. I would like to play it again. Good old Guyver. Which Guyver? The live action one or one of the animated ones? Please tell me it was the live action one. Because the animated ones are great. Yep. Are you going to follow that up with the Double Dragon movie? I think that's the only way. You gotta do a double feature. Guyver and Double Dragon. It will make Guyver look a lot better. The Double Dragon movie is somehow worse than the Double Dragon cartoon. Double Dragon cartoon was bad. What was I watching yesterday? And I thought Mark Hamill was in it. Oops. I need... Where'd it go? Back. That. Is he in... Yeah, I was watching, I never really watched Avatar, The Last Airbender. Never really watched that. Really didn't watch the Avatar movie, but I was watching something about, what was it called? I'll find it. But when the guy started talking and I said, I think that's Mark Hamill. And yes, he was the bad guy. Whatever his name was. Ozai? Yeah, Ozai. I watched the movie. I didn't think the movie was terrible. but I didn't have anything to compare it to because I never really watched the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Super Metroid. Super Metroid. It's one of the best video games I know of for setting mood with music. It's so good. This music sounds dark. And what I mean by that is, like, when I hear this, I picture like a dark room where like there's just stuff just in your periphery that you can just barely see. I think it's really good. Finished all the Halo games, says Scarlett. They're not as good as they were made it to be, I think. Speech to text strikes again. I think I've played 5-10 minutes of the first one. We didn't have... My brother had an Xbox, and I had, Nintendo stuff, and I wasn't really, I didn't live at home when he had his Xbox for very long. So I never really played a lot, and I hated those first generation Xbox controllers. They were terrible. But I have heard that the first Halo is the best one, but never played them, so I don't know. Okay, so Immortal Redneck's fine. That's a good game, Immortal Redneck. It's better than it has any right to be. But yeah, I've not... Shouldn't say I haven't heard good things about Halo. I just haven't heard great things, The reality doesn't match the advertisement, I guess. Because I guess they got really good voice actors. And there's, the big grand story, but I don't know. I feel like if you have a big grand story, you really can't stretch it out that long, because then you start having problems. Like Kingdom Hearts. I don't even know if the people who worked on the story for one Kingdom Hearts game had anything to do with the previous Kingdom Hearts game, because the story just seems so jarringly different from one to the other. And what's that other one? I feel the same way about Dead Space. But Dead Space, I don't know if they were smart enough to stop at 3, or if people were smart enough to stop buying them after 3. But that whole thing at the end where it's like, oh, the whole moon is a thing. That's just silly. First one and Reach, the prequel, were good. So I never played any of them. I mean, I could. Do I? So, I mentioned a while back that my brother was getting rid of his Xbox 360, his Xbox One, and his Switch, so he gave them to me. So I kept some of the games, but I'm selling some of the others, and I thought maybe I had a Halo, but I don't know. If I do, I kept it, but I've got for sale, if anybody wants, Tom Clancy's The Division, and this is not like Dark Side Phil stuff. You actually get the game with it, see? Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for the Xbox One, and the rest of these are 360. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Forza Motorsport 3. Need for Speed Shift. Battlefield 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Need for Speed Pro Street. Shift 2 Unleashed. Reflex MX versus ATV. And Need for Speed Undercover. There you go. I know, shocking that, you know, the guy working on Wizards and Warriors videos wouldn't be playing a lot of Need for Speed. But I'm keeping a few. Like, he had Diablo 3 and I think a couple of the Borderlands games, so we're gonna give him a try. What am I doing? Oh, islets. We're on islets now. I had Iron Sword over here, I had islets here, and I had Shovel Knight here, and I got very confused. They're fine. I'm easily confused. Before Scarlet asks, I'm not going to let's play any of those games I just showed you. Wow. My first video for islets. 713 views. That's a lot for me. 4, 6, 7. That's a lot. The drop off, very sharp. 700 to 100 to 48. Islets was a good game. I liked Islets quite a bit. So I'm thinking, we talked about in the future, I want to do a stream of Illusion of Gaia, or maybe a replay. Maybe it won't be a stream. It could be a stream, though. I also want to go back to Hollow Knight. I don't think I gave it a fair shake the first time. I think I went into it expecting something other and couldn't shift my expectations to match reality. So we'll do Hollow Knight and then maybe Silksong sometime next year. I do have another gifted game that I need to stream, but we're not going to do that just yet. After Gal Guardians is viewer's choice, so if you're a subscriber on Twitch, start thinking about games, because I think we're going to need a poll here in the next couple of weeks, because I think we're almost done with Gal Guardians. We made really good progress last time. So basically, if you don't know, if you're watching this on Kick or Twitch or something after the fact, YouTube maybe, the way we do the streams, I pick a game, we have a game that was gifted, if one exists, and then members get to pick. So if I had channel memberships available on YouTube, I'd count those, but I don't, so I can't. So if you're a subscriber on Twitch, get me a game, and then we put them together, we watch the trailers, we vote, and then whichever one wins is the one we do. That's how we do that. Or if you've bought me a coffee in the past, that's still a thing, because a couple people have bought me some coffees, and they get a thing. Trying to figure out a better way to do that so it's not cross-platform, you know? So I have to keep track of everybody. I thought about putting a thing on the website and just telling everybody, don't subscribe on Twitch. Go to the website and, you know, sign up for a thing there, but I'm not sure. Make sure my wish list is updated for Christmas. Oh, it is. 9 different things to be announced. No, my wish list is sitting pretty good. But you have done more than just about anybody else, man. So don't feel like you need to get me more games. Because look, we're going to look at one of them you just said. It was Jersey Devil. Remember Jersey Devil? What a time we had. And then we played like Blasto and Maximo and we realized how good we had it when we had Jersey Devil. And then after that, I never had anything bad to say about Jersey Devil ever again. And Medieval 2, apparently. I mentioned it in Medieval 2. Or 6. How do you get to 6? 6, 7, 8. FTL had some pretty good music. Well, I think we all were, you know. I think we were all hoping, but reality really kind of smacked us down there. Because he hates me, and through me you, Scarlett sent me this thing, and wants me to play it and wants you to watch me play it. I'm terribly sorry for all you're about to see. Yeah, and then Blasto happened, and then Medieval happened, and then Maximo happened, and then... Yeah, we realized, you know, we had it real good. We broke up with a jerk and ended up dating somebody who was abusive. I'm so sorry. Please take me back. Take me back, Jersey Devil. Like this was better. Whatever you're seeing now, that was better. He has no pupils. And the music in Jersey Devil, honestly, was pretty good. When I started going through stuff to put the, excuse me, the playlist together for the pre-stream music, you know, every game I played, like the game or not, if it had music, I went through it. I'm like, Jersey Devil's not too bad. There's some good music in here. It's not great, but it's good. I don't think there's anything from Blasto. I haven't gone through Maximo yet. I've gone through Medieval. There's nothing in Medieval. How long have we been streaming here? Just about an hour. Okay. We'll go a little longer. We'll just... However far I get is how far I get today. But the last thing we do is I'll walk you through the way I've been exporting playlists and getting them added quicker. It's a little complicated. It was one of those things like took 20 minutes to set up, but after it's been set up, it's really nice. I'm a big fan of, you know, if I can spend an hour doing something one time to save me 20 minutes every time from then on, I'll do it. Like at work, I changed the way a lot of our irrigation works, and it has saved me so much time. It still takes me 8 hours a week to do it, but it used to take like 14. Because the way they did it, and it was expensive if something broke, and it was just a lot of extra work. And now it's just I can just go take a walk. Get it all done. Get in my steps, you know. Got any snow yet? We had Monday night, it snowed. Not a ton, and it's been kind of warm ever since. Maybe a ½ inch at my house. My boss, who lives 20-30 minutes from me, you know, he lives here, I live here, works kind of in the middle. I'm here, said half an inch, pretty much all melted. He was here. He got like 3 inches and none of it melted by Wednesday morning. So. But it was supposed to snow a bunch the last couple days, and it never did. It's just been too warm. It's been in the 40s. It's supposed to be close to 60 next week. I mean, people joke, but 60 degrees middle of December is not normal. Climate change isn't real. Okay, Kabuki. I'm going to make a note. We will do Kabuki with the new method. So, Katamari, we need re-rolled added to this. So I'm going to put that down. I'm doing with Katamari and We Love Katamari the same thing I did with Iji. You'll just go to one landing page, and that landing page will have both. That's my plan. So let's see, did I fix this? No. So let's fix this. This is a weird. This is just weird. Some of the soundtrack in Batten Kaitos is just weird. But I really like it. Like, this is one of my favorite tracks. But the place we first encounter it is that weird, like, pocket dimension island where there's a town made out of cake. It's strange. There's the town made out of cake, and then there's the town made out of, like, construction paper. Origins, the prequel, didn't have anything like that. So when I saw it in Eternal Wings, I was very confused. We really need to start working on Origins because I really want to play it. That means I got to dig out the Wii or the GameCube. Because while there is a PC and Switch version of Batten Kaitos, both of them, Origins and Eternal Wings, they don't have the English voice acting in Origins, and as bad as the voice acting is in Eternal Wings, the voice acting in Origins is really, really good. This is really, really good. And there's just a couple of scenes specifically that I thought, no, this has got to be done. We gotta do it in English. Not that there's anything wrong with doing it in Japanese, but you know, if you don't understand the words, you know, you can get the meaning, but contextually. But I just remember, like, man, this game, it's amazing. And I played Origins before I played Eternal Wings. Because I didn't know anything about it. I was at the play-in trade, and I had just bought a GameCube and a Wii, and I'm like, oh, I should, no, I had the Wii. I hadn't bought the GameCube yet. Like, I'm looking for some games. I like RPGs, and then it was in, like, the $5 bin. I'm like, okay, I'll buy that. So I bought Batten Kaitos Origins, Soul Calibur, the one with Link in it. I bought like a Mega Man collection and a Zelda collection, and I think something else. I don't remember. And I realized I really didn't like playing Mega Man or the N64 Zeldas on the GameCube controller. So I was dating a girl at the time. She's still a girl. Well, a woman now. And her little brother had a GameCube, and I said, here, he can have these. Guess he loved them. And that's my story. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So this is Final Fantasy V music. Obviously, some of you may know. This is one of the better tracks from Final Fantasy V. I said a couple weeks ago, and I've said it since then, and I will say it again, and I stand by it. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest has a better soundtrack than Final Fantasy V. Not saying that Final Fantasy V has a bad soundtrack. I think Final Fantasy V has a weak soundtrack. I think the music in it isn't as good as 4 or 6. And I think Mystic Quest is just a better all-around soundtrack. Sometimes save is grayed out, and I don't know why. Like, this is a great song. You know, this one's good. I don't know if you can see it. This is called Dear Friends. It's a very good song, but the voicing is not particularly good. I don't like the instruments that they... Well, I don't think it's even that. I just think the way they designed the instruments is not great. Not as good. It does make sense that this is in between 4 and 6, because that's also how the voicing on the instruments, the sound font, works. Because some of it sounds like we've almost got it figured out. You know what I'm saying? It's not quite the same as 6, but it's almost 6. You know what I'm saying? It's also 8 minutes long. Speaking of Mystic Quest, I didn't do that. That's random. I just pushed the next button. This is really good. It's so, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of like drums and guitar and Mystic Quest, and it's very different. But then this one's got like a lot of keyboard and synth in it. I just really like it. And I think the songs are good. Okay, we don't have anything for Kid Dracula. So here's what, I think this is where we stopped. You ought to play it, man. It's really fun. I like it. I'd like to stream that someday too. I think it's just a really good game. It's not a complicated game, obviously. It's not a head scratcher, you know, but I just think it's a good, solid, fun little game. It's not as deep as some other games, but you don't always need a deep game. That's why you play Katamari. Okay. So here's what we're doing. This is the new way. You know, you aren't going to be able to see that. Can I... Will this work? Let me try something. So the new method does not require me to build episode pages. It's done... It's done with a plugin. So I want, so I don't have to go and change a bunch of stuff. Let's drop this in there. This should work. Okay, here we go. So this is a spreadsheet. I love me some spreadsheets, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't even joking. I do love a good spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet, of course. And right now this is information for Katamari Damacy. This is not the updated spreadsheet, though. It's all right, I think. Where did that one go? I would rather use the other one. It's all right. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we're going to delete all this. We don't need any of this. We have inputs. Actually, hold on. Some of these are... Yeah, these two we need to kind of keep the same. We can get rid of these. Then we have an output. Okay, we're going to need to edit this a bit. So what I need to export YouTube playlist to a CSV. And is it this one? No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Nope. It's not that one. There was one I was using last night when I was in my Linux thing that was amazing. It was perfect. And I'm not going to be able to find it. I love this music. Can you tell? A lot of videos. Don't need videos. That one. It's weird that I can search for the same thing on the same browser in two different operating systems and get different results. Isn't that odd? And a lot of these are the exact same thing, just with different titles. It's a mystery. That one. That one. Oh, I'll know it when I see it. Problem is, I'm not going to see it. Use the other one. Rock candy music. So I've got a page open here called YouTube Playlist Backup. And that will export a playlist into a CSV file. So we're going to work on Kabuki Quantum Fighter. There's more Bat and Kaitos music. Why don't you come over here? So we'll search for Kabuki. Grab this. Grab this. We want this. Okay. Oh, I guess we can bring this over here too. Drop this in here. Include the description. Export it. Download it. Save it. Okay. While that's done its thing, I'm gonna view. Now we'll edit this. But I have a template down here called bulk. And I have another one over here called skull. This is a joke. So, page is made. Episodes are here. Blah, 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 blah. We want to grab this. And then down here in bulk, you want to change this link. Oops. the Kabuki link. And you can just barely see it right there. I'm going to save this. Now what this plugin does, we'll look at it more in a minute, is it takes a CSV and it replaces, based on row, the information with whatever's in curly brackets here. So this is title, video, and description. Over here, I input the CSV we downloaded for Kabuki Quantum Fighter. And because I have this already formulated out, it will output the video ID, the title, and the description. We just got to clean it up. Then I export this page as a CSV. I upload it to the plugin over here, and it makes the pages. I don't have to add videos. I don't have to add descriptions. I don't have to add nothing. I just have to go and put the links in. That's why it saved me so much time. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. We need to open that CSV we just downloaded. Now, this downloader, you can't see it. Oh, it's because I'm using the wrong thing. This downloader puts in some things I don't need, and it doesn't quite get video IDs and stuff right. So the one that I've just used, it includes your video ID, the title, the channel, the date it was added, when it was published, the thumbnail URL, and the description. So I don't need the channel, I don't need the dates, I don't need the thumbnail description, okay? So I'm going to copy the video ID. I'm going to come back over here to this. We paste the video IDs on the input. I'm going to come here and grab the other one. I'm going to copy the titles. I'm going to paste those to full title. Then I'm going to grab the descriptions. And I'm going to paste those into full description. Now, this looks like a mess. I understand that. It's fine. So we have short title and short description. And what these do, this formula up here that you can't really see because my face is in the way. Much better. Look at that. The video we just gained 87 viewers. What this formula does is it replaces replaces characters from this column and removes this many of them, this number right here. So we haven't removed enough, right? Because this just needs to be 01 hurry up plot. So let's remove 35. One short. Let's remove 36. That square bracket's in there for a reason. Okay, but now these are correct. We don't need any of these. So now our description, same thing. This column and this formula takes off characters from the left side. This takes off characters from the right side. Now my descriptions, that's how much I want to keep, what's in the formula bar. But I've got all of this at the end, where the tags are, where the website is, all of that. I want to keep all of the description, but none of this after. So this should say, here's a game that I remember being kind of a big deal when I was a kid. This one ends with, here's a game that I remember being kind of a big deal weh. So we need to remove fewer. So let's remove 130. 130, not enough. 133. Boom. Okay. Drag this down. There. So now everything from the end, which is starting here, all the way up to here, goes away. And then we just keep this. Now this is my input sheet. Come over here to the output sheet. What my output sheet does is it adds YouTube to the front of the video ID, so I don't have to do that automatically. It's changed the plot because one of the things that I'm doing with these new plot it changes the title. One of the things I'm doing with the new layout is changing the way the episode titles work so that it's more consistent. So what this has done is it has added, there's a formula to do it, and I couldn't figure it out. So that's why this square bracket is here, because I was able to add one after the number, but I couldn't figure out how to add one before with this substitute formula. So it's fine. Drag that down. Boom. There. So our video is done. Our title is done. Our description is done. So we export this as a CSV. So everything in video, looking at our thing here, goes there. Everything in title goes here, and everything in description goes here. Okay? We change this link first because the plugin right here, LPagery, is going to make a copy of this page with this information in it for every row. Okay? You'll see it in action here in just a minute. We're going to build this with the title template. Going to upload our episode builder. Output CSV. There we go. So we're going to use this video with this page, with this description. It's going to generate this slug, this link. Create the pages. Create the pages. Put that back on, and there go all our viewers. Pages created successfully. Okay. Don't do that anymore. So these all end up in the unassigned items folder. Here they are. Let's view one. Make sure it works. It didn't work last time. Okay. There we go. So we can grab all of these. This is going to Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Goes right there. We can keep this one open. We don't need this one anymore. Come down to Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Oh no, we're missing our review page and our playlist page. For some reason, we have to click all, and then they show back up. There, we just made 6 pages, and I didn't have to do a damn thing. I mean, we didn't have to make the pages. Now this doesn't show up, but when we view the page, it does, and I don't know why. I don't understand. Because this shouldn't work, but the other one should. But the other one doesn't work and this one does. So I don't get it. Page 3, copy the link to page 3, 3 links to 4, and 2, and I call this episode or page 0. Grab the link to 4, 4 links to 5. Need a bigger mouse pad. And 3, and 0. Grab the link to 5. 5 goes to 6. And 4, and 0. Grab the link from 6. 6 goes to 5, and 0. Save that. Save. That's it. Kabuki Quantum Fighter's done. Now, the only thing we didn't do that I would normally do is make this page. But other than that, we did everything. It's so much faster. The reason I was using that other code, the one that we just had to go and remove from all those pages, because the other code filled this. It filled this spot, which is why I was using it. And like I said, it worked fine for like the first 2 or 3 days, and then it just quit working, and I don't know why. Nothing changed as far as I know. but that's what happened. So, we'll do it again with, excuse me, get rid of Kabuki. Let's do Kid Dracula, because we can start Kid Dracula and do it from actual scratch. So Kid Dracula needs a full playlist. We gotta make some copies of those. It gets a review, and it gets a full playlist. We also need, wow, 2 Earthbounds back to back. What are the odds? This is all terribly exciting for you guys. I was super stoked when I figured out how to do this. Oh my God, this is going to save me so much time. Kid Dracula. Kid Dracula was a low bias monthly. That goes there. Oops. And the topic was spin-offs, game spin-offs. Copy that. Full playlist to that. We need to come down here to our bulk. I agree. I really enjoyed Low Bias Monthly. Paste that, kid, so that's updated. So now when we make our bulk pages with this, it's going to link to Kid Dracula. That's why we do that. Copy that. We'll drop in the box art right here. Change that URL so it links to the page that it's on. Remove the caption because we don't need it. I need the more Earthbound. Wow. Kid Dracula. This is an action game developed by Konami, published by Konami in the space year 1993. So we have 8 episodes total. That. One of the things I love